We are live. All right, welcome everyone. Just coming out in mid-December. Jack Mangan, Rich Catino, and then we're honored to
From Metal
have,
Asylum.
Metal. I'm rusty, right? Metal Asylum, Metal Hall of Fame, Support Life and Music, Am I Evil? But yeah, I mean, our guest of honor here is an absolute legend in this scene, one of the greats of out of ever to come out of Germany. I'm not going to give you too much praise, Chris, but it's a great honor to talk to you again. You are a legend, man. It's great talking to you. Chris Baldnoff from Gravedigger. Thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys. Oh, I see so many CDs from Rich.
So I mean, Chris, I have the whole catalog here. I mean, I got just everything. But we were talking off air, guys. I was showing this cool little collectible too that I haven't shown you guys in a while. Right? We've done.
I think there are three versions. There's one also from Excalibur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
Cool.
I don't have it. I don't have it here. I show you something here, and I have somebody in South America made a figure of myself.
That's awesome.
That's one of a kind, right? That's the only one in the world.
Do you know how many of these were made, Chris, when they made these for the Gravedigger?
I think it was 2000 or something.
Oh, wow. That's very limited. That's awesome. I'm glad I got one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
There's one with a book cover. You remember my biography when is the Reaper sitting on the table with a candle?
Oh, yeah. Yep. From wait, that was the Reaper cover. That's right. With the Reaper sitting there with the candle with the book.
No, that was only the book cover.
Right, the book cover. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yes, and then is one with from Excalibur with the sword. These three figures we have.
Oh, nice. I got to track those down. I don't have those.
So, hey, fans, where can we get those? Are those just out? Are they unavailable? Like, or can we get them?
They got to be out of print.
Right, they're not in stock. If we go to the website, right? Are we able to get those figurines? Can you get those figurines anywhere?
Yeah.
Pardon?
Are you able to get those figurines?
Yeah, the Gravedigger or the Excalibur, are they available anywhere anymore, or they're done?
No. It's over since I don't know. All is sold, and you can't find it in the internet. I think most of the people keep it like a holy grail.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. That's what mine is. Mine's part of my heavy metal holy grail.
That's awesome. Well, hey, let's talk about the big exciting news for 2025 for Gravedigger, or the first exciting news. I'm sure you have lots going on, but the first, of course, is Bone Collector. But I'm sure you're excited to talk about it. I'm definitely excited to talk about it. What do you want the fans to know about what's new and exciting on Bone Collector, Chris?
Yeah, Bone Collector is a synonym for our mascot, the Reaper, because we don't want to call the album the Reaper 2 or the Reaper 3 or the Reaper 4, or the comeback of the Reaper or something like that.
Right.
And also not Return of the Reaper, yes,
Yeah.
So then I searched for a synonym, and I think, hey, Bone Collector, that's cool. And then I have the idea for the first chorus. It's a Bone Collector, Grave Dictator, Death Protector. And this sounds really like a heavy metal cliche. And I asked myself and the guys in the band, can I do that? It's so full of cliches, these three words. And they say, yeah, if somebody can do it, then Gravedigger, So we are working with the Bone Collector as a new Reaper. But anyway, we try to not back to the roots, or we call this campaign for the new album, we call it Old School. But at the end, old school for us is to bring back the spirit, not the music from the 80s or the sound of the albums from the 80s to the new album or to the new year, but the spirit, the spirit in songwriting, in spirit writing lyrics, to play all the songs live. And that is for us this old school vibe. I think we reached that goal in a very good way. And I hope that people recognize it and enjoy it.
Nice.
Yeah. You want me to start, Jack?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Rich.
All right. So talking about, going back to that vibe, my first question was, in recent years, you kind of got back to that with the traditional metal and the speed metal for Return of the Reaper or like Healed by Metal, right? So when writing the new music and the lyrics for the new album, Bone Collector, was it hard to get back to the roots, so to say?
No, because with Tobias, the new guitar player, he's a totally metal fan, and don't get me wrong, but Exo Red was from the beginning. He never was a real heavy metal fan. You know, he was more based in this Def Leppard stuff and White Snake and more this hard rock. But Tobias is his roots are more or less running wild, and he loves Gravedigger before he joined the band, and he has his old school music in his hands, and that was really uh, excited to work with him on this new album because he feel this old kind of heavy metal, you know, and I think that the band sounds now like perhaps like in the younger years. Yeah, now I'm 63 next month, you know, but when I listen to the new album, I feel a little bit like when I'm 20. Yeah, this energy and the roughness of this album is old school. That is the reason why we call it old school. We
Right.
don't want to sound old school because we are now in the 45th anniversary next year, but the vibe and the spirit, this should be the people should recognize that it's for me it's timeless, you know. This
Mhm.
album, the new album is timeless. You can play it in the 90s, you can play it next year or in the 80s. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah.
Jack.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, I definitely agree. There's a Gravedigger feel to it. Absolutely. I wanted to ask about the songwriting itself. Actually, I'm going to go a little nerdy, a little technical. So the riffs, like there's good guitar, there's power chords, there's low E chugging, but there's also some different variations on the chords. You know what I mean? Like, is that something you just decided to do? Like, there's a little bit of old creator in there, maybe, where you're not just hitting power chords. Like, was that something you guys decided to do, or is it just happen
No,
naturally?
it came naturally, you know. And Tobias came up with the riffs. And normally, when I wrote music together with Axel, it was a way that we started with a chorus. I recorded the chorus by myself and sent it to Axel, and then we made a song around the chorus. And now on the new album, we went back to our original songwriting when we started in the 80s. First the riff, second the next riff, third riff, and then at the end the lyrics and the vocals on it. And I think that is the most different between songwriting with Axel Ritt and songwriting with Tobias Kersting.
Great. Yeah, thanks. All right, Rich, go for it.
On Bone Collector, did you write music as well, or lyrics, or both?
I I play guitar, but I'm not such a good guitar player like Tobias Kersting. But he sent always a song, fragments, you know, and I
Mhm.
said, okay, let's go this way, make it a little bit darker, or give it a little bit more speed, or slow down there.
Mhm.
And then I said, okay, we have to be more dirty there, and that is not Gravedigger. That is a lot of Gravedigger, and I'm like a coach, you know, a
Mhm.
coach at the guitar, and I can't show him any kind of accords, you know, riffs or something, but I can tell him what I want, you know, and he is very understandable, and he has a really fit mind, so he worked it out in a very proper way when I said something to him that we have to change something, and I think that is a really good way to work.
Nice. Now,
All
were
right.
you guys in the same room together? I know this is 2024. You can be, apart. Did you guys email each other riffs or
No, no,
or
all was with email and WhatsApp, and then I took by phone. You know, we never saw each other when we wrote a song.
Oh.
We only did it with WhatsApp, and he sent me the sound samples, and then I called him and said, "Okay, let's do it this way and this way and this way." And 2 hours later, new sound samples arrived at my desk, and then I called him again. Let's go this way, and this is awesome, and not, and it was. And the other side is when I wrote songs with XRIT, it was in a very short term, And with Tobias, I think we wrote a half year songs, and it was a very complex time, And yeah, and we also worked really hard on the sounds because everybody in the band has his own studio, or everybody recorded at home. But and I mixed it here in my studio and did also the mastering. But to work out the sounds, that was, I think, 1 week. And if you go into a rental studio, you have to be very quick. Okay, let's do the sound. Okay, burp, 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 and to work in my own studio, I had all the time I want and to send to the guys my ideas. Also with Jens Becker, the bass player, we have a sound check for 2 days because I want him to do the best for him at home, and he is not so technically fit like me. And I described everything like in a school and do that. And now with Logic, you have to do that, use this plugin. And then he sent me the stuff, and I put it in my Logic. And so it was step by step, like Tetris, tuk, 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 build up.
Like Tetris. That's fantastic. All right.
So
All right, Rich, go ahead.
I know, Jack, you're going to ask about the recording and stuff because Chris is a studio, but the artwork, is that a painting or is that a digital creation?
That is KI, artificial intelligence.
The artwork is now.
Yes. And we got a really big shitstorm here in Germany about that. No. Normally I'm an old guy, but I'm hungry for new experiences.
Okay.
So, and I read about this KI, AI stuff, and I said to me, "Oh, that sounds interesting. So let's try it." And then I go to Bing microphone by Microsoft tool, and then I start putting my ideas in, and then whoop, oh, not bad. Oh, next one, give it in. Ooh, and after 2 days, I had 600 album covers on my desk. I worked 2 days, the whole day, with this artificial intelligence, and then there was one picture in it that is a Gravedigger cover, but what you see is 100%, but the original one was 50%, and I put it into my Photoshop, start painting with it, then I sent it to my Brazilian art layouter, and he worked it, and at the end, it's a combination of 3 artists and artificial intelligence. But as when I told that of the guys on Facebook, and then we got a really big shitstorm about that.
Do you have a plan B? Maybe
everybody is using AI in the normal life, and for me it's a tool. And I remember in the past when the artists start painting on paper, and then 10 years later they start using Photoshop,
Yeah.
And there was a big scream in the public. Oh, there's a betray. There's no artist. There's no art because they're using digital in Photoshop. And I ask also my older artists, hey, what you are using Photoshop? You are also using AI? Yes, we're using AI. Oh, fuck off.
So wait, do you have another cover or maybe an idea just in case you want to do a reissue and you want to maybe change it and you want to do like a painting or something? Do you have a plan B or no?
No.
Okay.
No. What you see now is a Gravedigger cover, and I have enough balls to say that to the audience, and I don't think that we sell one CD less of this cover, So
Yeah.
when I make some research in the internet on Facebook, who all the guys who write this shitstorm to us, and I saw that 90% of them had something to do with art,
Mhm.
and then I can understand them, no problem, but they have to
Mhm.
understand me. I use it. It's my tool, But on the
Yeah.
other side, I want to ask these people, hey guys, are you buying CDs? Are you going
Mhm.
to the shop buying a vinyl? Or you listen to Spotify? And I promise you, 90% would say, no, we don't buy any CDs or vinyl. We only listen to Spotify. So
Huh.
cancel your Spotify account, buy CDs, buy vinyls,
There you go.
and then the
There you
artists
go.
have enough. Yeah, good. And then the
Yeah.
artists have enough money to pay for the real artists. So anyway, it's a.
Mhm.
But guys, in 1 year, nobody will cry, yeah, about artificial intelligence. It's now new,
Mhm.
and everything which is new said, oh, yeah. But in 1 year, it will be normal. I know that Kerry King
This is interesting.
has also an artificial intelligence cover and die site, and they got the
Oh,
same
really?
shit like we. Yeah, yeah.
I didn't, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, and you used a real artist. You hired a live artist. You said the guy in South America did artwork on it. So you did hire an artist to touch up the image, right? You
No,
said,
I also paid for an artist, but this artist made all the correction on this IE cover.
Mhm.
yeah,
So
Right, right.
anyway, I love this cover. I think it
yeah.
fits perfectly to the music, and that is the reason why I choose it.
Cool.
Makes sense.
Go ahead, Jack. I know you had some studio questions for him, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, I can't talk really a lot about studio magic, but I did want to ask when I talked to you about the last record, we talked, I think that was the first one you'd ever produced. So talk to me a little bit about how you felt producing this one, about how you feel you've come and grown as a producer.
We all had this Corona time. It was a long time for artists, no income, nothing to do, no shows. And in this time, I said to myself, hey, I'm interested in this studio stuff. And then I start learning, reading, buying stuff for me. And then I saw, oh, it's very interesting. And then I drove to my older studio, the principal studios, and talked with the guys there, and they supported me. And I learned like a 16 years old school guy a new technique for me. And Symbol of Eternity was more or less one of the first productions I did. I'm not 100% happy with that, especially with the guitar sound. Nowadays, I know what was wrong with the guitar sound, but it was more or less a fall from Axel to the recording stuff he did. But anyway, now I have my experience, and now I know how a good record can sound. And I worked with my artist in the band a long time, as I mentioned before. And yeah, I'm really happy about the result, especially the guitar sound. It's so typical Gravedigger, like
Yeah. It's very crunchy. Yeah.
yeah, the chainsaw. The chainsaw is
Yeah.
back.
Yeah. I agree.
Very cool. All right, Rich, go ahead.
Okay. Are any of these songs left over from any previous album writing sessions?
No, no. This is completely new material.
Okay.
And we also recorded 2 songs more, which will be released next year as digital versions first,
Mhm.
and then as an EP with some live tracks from recording from the next tour.
Cool.
But there's all complete new stuff. We have nothing, Rich. We have nothing left over.
Okay.
Everything we ever released,
Cool.
recorded, is released so far,
All right.
and I don't know, but we have nothing in the pipeline from the back past.
So any of the previous albums that like I have, like they have bonus tracks, like the Gravedigger has Black Hat on it. Like anytime you guys have a extra track that's tacked on, they're all out there already. There's nothing left over then.
No, this time is the first time that we don't work with bonus tracks. We
Okay.
have one bonus track in Japan, but this is also already released. This is The Grave Is Yours, a single we
Okay.
did at the beginning of the year. It
Mhm.
was only as a released as a 7-inch single and digital.
Right.
But in Germany or in other countries, we don't have any bonus tracks.
Okay. Good to know. Go ahead,
Interesting.
Jack.
Yeah. All right. Actually, that's just a little bit of a detour for a second. Now, can you tell us, Chris, about what are the challenges in 2024 of being a working musician, especially being European? You can throw that in too, but what, yeah, I know it's not as easy a life as everyone says it is, or as many people believe it to be. So talk to me about the challenges of being a working musician in 2024.
I think now it's after Corona, a lot of things changed. The record companies, the booking companies, it's really heavy these days to make live shows. There are a lot of clubs closed after Corona, and yeah, when we released the Symbol of Eternity, it was okay, but nowadays the sellings of CDs and also vinyl was a peak after Corona, but now it's everything is going down. A lot of people only using streaming, but Gravedigger is not a band. We don't have so big streaming counts. So we are a lucky band. We always sell from each CD and vinyl 10 till 15,000 copies. That is, for these times, it's awesome.
Mhm.
And we are an old band. Next year, 45th anniversary. So we are happy that we're already in the scene and not after Corona or before Corona. We quit like with the Dig album. But we are full of energy. We feel better than ever. And we have so many plans. And we already wrote some new songs for Gravedigger. We're working on a new Steelhammer album. And we can't stop our own creativity. So, yeah, it's straightforward.
Excellent. All right. Excellent. All right, Rich, you want to
All right.
take us next?
So the last time you guys toured the US was with Blind Guardian. That was 2015 and 16, right?
Yes.
Correct?
We
Okay.
did
So,
nearly 50 shows there.
and they were great. I was at both tours, and you guys, people love that you were in America. So, do you hopefully have some plans to return next year for the new album? And you got the anniversary too, right? So,
The funny thing, there was a complete booked tour for
oh,
Gravedigger between the festivals, Hell Heroes and 2 Minutes to Tulsa.
oh,
And but then, without our permission and no idea of any fees or something,
mhm,
the agency, uh, and the two festival release us as a headliner, and I don't know. And then
oh,
I saw in the internet on Facebook, oh, I played there on Hell Heroes on which date? Oh, okay, nice to see. Yeah. And then I was totally pissed because nobody sent me any fees before. Sometimes I saw not a concrete tour plan, you know,
mhm,
and it was together with Satan, this English band,
yeah,
and to play in the US is such expensive,
mhm,
because also the working visas, it's now, if you take the long term to get them, is $1,800 each. And
mhm,
if you want to have it in a very fast way, you have to pay $2,500, and you don't have the guarantee that they will get it back in a positive way.
mhm,
So the
mhm,
authorities have the authority to say no, and then you don't get back the money.
yeah,
So you paid
Wow.
for 4 musicians,
mhm,
10,000 euros or $10,000, sorry,
mhm,
and you have don't not a guarantee that you can play there, and it's so much paperwork. You need an accountant and everything. So
mhm,
when we toured with Blind Guardian, they have the management. They did everything for us more or less.
mhm.
But nowadays, I should do everything by myself. And the day when I canceled all this, that was the reason they told me, oh, we don't have a nightliner. We have to drive with a caravan. I said, hey, man, I'm 63 years old next year.
Yeah.
I don't want to drive with a caravan to the US from show to show, and each day is 600 miles,
Yeah.
So that was the reason why we said, no way. And I'm really sorry about that. But the communication from the agency to my agency, it has a lack of communication. And at the end, I had to say, no, I don't want to be a psychological wreck when everything's over and going on tour like a zombie,
Yeah. Do you have possibility of maybe a plan B that you can do something else maybe later in the year or something, working on something else?
What's coming up, we will see. But at the end, as I told you before, it's very expensive for a German band to tour there. And if you don't have a company stands behind you, but we are such an old band, nobody will give us money as a support to tour the US. So we have to see. We have to wait and see what happens.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Yeah, we do hear that from a lot of European and bands outside of the US that the visa prices have gone way up. I think it wasn't always that way, right? I think it's recent that it cost that much to come here and form, which is there's a lot of great European metal bands and bands we're not going to see for that reason, which is it's awful.
And if I see that bands like Gravedigger will play in front of 100, 150 persons there, that will not bring the money in to finance all the costs,
But if you can buddy up with another band like you did with Blind Guardian, that would be beneficial, right?
That would be cool. Yes.
Yeah.
We'll get on the phone with them. We'll make it work.
Go ahead, Jack. What do you got?
Well, you know what? I mean, I want to ask about, Gravedigger is one of the big bands in German heavy metal history. I mean, Germany has such a rich heavy metal history. So talk to me a little bit about how you see Gravedigger's place in it, and also Germany's place in heavy metal history. Maybe we could go on and on. Scorpions, Accept, Halloween, all the great German metal bands, Destruction, all these incredible bands. So talk to us a little bit about I don't know. I guess I just lost my question, but talk to us a little bit about German heavy metal and how Gravedigger's place in it.
I think that Gravedigger is more or less the second wave of German heavy metal. The first one is Scorpions and Accept. And then after that, Gravedigger started really, really fast after coming up of Accept. And I think that together with Running Wild and Sinner, we are the second wave of German heavy metal. And I think that a lot of people outside of Germany love German metal because it's so, the beginning of the German metal was so true, and very straightforward heavy metal and with a typical accent of the German singers. And I think it was something special. Nowadays we have such a lot a lot of more bands coming from Germany, also very successful bands like Powerwolf. But anyway, for me, that has nothing to do with heavy metal. If I see bands like from Sweden, also Sabaton or Powerwolf, they have a right because they are really successful. But at the end, it's some kind of metal, and not this kind of metal I grow up with, And the bands I grew up with, like Gravedigger, Halloween, Running Wild, Creator, that is for me the German heavy metal scene, Accept for sure, or the UDO. And all the newer bands are more or less in this, very commercial way. They have a lot of success, but for me, it's not really the German heavy metal. They present not German heavy metal at the end.
All right, great.
Okay. So since you're going back to you are back to the roots of Gravedigger, are any, because I listened to the record, but I gotta absorb it more. It's only been like a day. Are there any symphonic or orchestrated elements to any song in the album, or is it just part of that little intro for the first song?
No, it's only the intro. There's no keyboards on this album,
Okay.
not like in the past, and there's not epic stuff, no
Right.
symphonic stuff, only true heavy metal.
Right. Back to Heavy Metal Breakdown and Witch Hunter and the Reaper,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
yeah,
Well, the Reaper does have a little bit of keyboards and stuff, but that's for atmosphere.
yeah, on the Legion of the Lost. But
Yeah.
anyway, and the Devil played piano.
Yeah.
But nowadays, we don't think that Greg Digger need any keyboards. We are so happy without that, and sometimes live for the older songs we using a backtrack for the
Okay.
keyboards, but that is the only thing I know that a lot of bands using background vocals, guitars, bass guitars.
Yeah.
But for us, it's I like to be on stage and listen to Jens Becker's bass play. So for me, it's much more important that we are a band
Mhm.
and that the keyboards are so less in the songs. But most of the songs we play live are without keyboards.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, that's well said though. So I mean, and I guess I'll key on that. Do you feel like that's the future of Gravedigger then is going to be more of just the core instruments, the guitar, bass, drums, vocals, and not less symphonic, less keyboards? Is that I think that's the future of Gravedigger?
Definitely, for sure, because it was so much fun to record this one, and we have so many ideas in the moment to do another one, and we are talking about that. And yes, I think that we will carry on this way till the coffin is closed.
Right.
I don't
Well,
think
I
that
mean,
we ever do another concept CD because we made so many. With the success of Tunes of War, everybody said, "Oh, you need another one," and then we got another one, another one, and now we are back to the spirit of the band, and the spirit of the band was not to write concept CDs.
yeah,
All
I
right.
get it. Yeah. I mean, I know we're probably running low on time. So Rich, why don't you take us out? Maybe ask
Okay.
one or two more questions. Take us on
Yeah,
out.
no problem.
So
Yeah.
this is
Thanks.
a different kind of a question here. Instead of you telling me what your favorite Gravedigger albums are, I'm going to tell you what mine are, and I want
Okay.
you to let me know what you think of these selections. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Number 5, The Reaper.
That was full of aggression and energy and power because that was the first record after the break, after the Digger album.
Right.
And it's the funny thing is that most of the songs are on the demo tape from Hawaii.
Okay.
The band in the break, it was the Hawaii demo tape.
Right.
It was sound 4 bottles and 1 coconut.
Right.
And most of the songs are on this album.
We're from those demos, right?
Yes.
Because those recently came out about a year or two ago. They were under
Yeah, the Forgotten Tales.
Gravedigger, The Lost Years, right?
Yeah, the Forgotten Years.
Forgotten Years, yep.
Yeah.
All right, next. Of course, the classic where it all started, Heavy Metal Breakdown.
Yes.
Yeah, I was 22 years old, and the other guys in the band was a little bit younger. But I think that was the first output of a band who went out of the small city of Gladbeck here in Germany to conquer the world,
Yeah.
And as I wrote in my book, I always wanted to be a metal god, but now I'm more or less a small one. But I wanted to be like Rob Halford or Ronnie James Dio, and that was a target, shakes, drugs, and rock and roll. And for that, we wrote this record, Heavy Metal Breakdown.
Well, it's 45 years later, so I think you definitely made your mark, and you're up there with the other heroes.
Yeah, I'm a small metal god.
All right,
like
next,
this,
my number
like
3. You're still there. Yeah, you're still there with the big guys, definitely. Next one, Tunes of War, number 3.
Tunes of War. Tunes of War is the beginning of a new era because it was the most successful album of the band, and the cover is so funny, and but we wrote some cool metal songs with a background of the Scottish history, and this worked out very well. I don't know why it worked out so well. I think that was perhaps a time when Braveheart simultan came out to the movie world, and I think the concept was good, and that was a time more or less when we started with the concept CDs.
Well, over the years, you play at least 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 songs from this every other tour, right? Or every tour.
Yeah, next tour we play one song only, 2 songs, Dark of the Sun and Rebellion.
Rebellion, yeah, that's like your anthem with Heavy Metal Breakdown, right?
We can't go on stage to only not to play this song.
All right, number 2, Rheingold.
Oh, Rheingold. Yes, that was another concept CD because after the Gravedigger album, the Gravedigger album was really dark and we made some down tuning for this album, and it was really a more or less a tribute to also to Randy Rhoads and Ozzy Osbourne sounds. And then the record company came, we need another concept CD. You have an idea? And yeah, we said, okay, we do something, the Nibelungen. Okay, the Nibelungs, that's good. And yeah, that was the reason why. Also, H.P. Katzenberg, the keyboarder, has a big part on this album because he also worked out all the symphonic stuff, and we had some Wagner quotes in it. And yeah.
You have another great anthem on here too, Valhalla.
Yeah, that we play on the next tour.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
And Rheingold, of course. I love Dragon. Twilight of the Gods is so epic. I love that.
Twilight of the Gods is a really cool track.
Yeah. All right, and number 1.
We got to get over to Europe. That's what it is. That's what we're hearing, Chris. Like
Right?
if you're not going to get here, we got to get to Europe to see you. All right. So Rich is number 1 now.
The Gravedigger.
Yeah, that was the first album with Manny Smith, and it was also a new era because I put all the guitar players, with every guitar player, it started a new era in a different way, you know. And that was the first one with Manny. When I know that we wrote this album with Jens Becker together.
Okay.
Oh, that is a promo, yeah. And
that's
we
inside,
wrote
actually. That's the you get the black cover, and then that's inside of it.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
We wrote this album in a very small vacation home in the Netherlands with a 4-track recorder in a very basic way. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, I love this record.
It's great. I think the riffs are monstrous. The hooks are huge. It's singable, but it's still heavy. And it's all the Edgar Allan Poe stories too, which is even better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I like this album very much, yeah.
So are my choices good? Are my 5 good?
Yeah, very nice, very nice. But I recognize that you don't have any album with Axel Ritt.
Well, that, what's funny is that is my number 6, so close, because I really like
the Reaper, yeah.
I really like Return of the Reaper. Yeah, that was my 6.
I hope that the new one will be under the first 5 now.
We'll see. I hope so. I'm enjoying it so far, but you got, 16 albums or something? It's like so tough.
It's 23 now.
Over 20, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow, I miscounted.
Yeah, 23 with the live album and everything. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'll throw some love to Symbol of Eternity. I will throw some love that way. I think it was an excellent album. But yeah, I like the new one too. I mean, the new one might, for me personally, but yeah, I think Rich's list is pretty good.
Thanks.
So next time, in 2 years, when we make the album, the interview for the new album, you can show me your favorite 5, and I want to see Bone Collector on it.
It might change. You never know. I've been fans since '84, so it could switch, right?
Okay.
So, Chris, tell us, when the album's coming out and anything you want us to know for 2025 as we close out.
Yeah, take us out.
Tour. We have a lot of shows booked, and we will play some old school shows, and we play Wacken again and South America in the end of the year. But there are so many plans.
Are you taping?
I can't wait to be on stage again. Pardon?
Are you taping the Wacken show?
I don't know.
Okay.
We'd see.
And the album comes out when? Bone Collector?
17th of January.
All right, great.
Nice. All right, so yeah, go out, everyone go out and buy the vinyl, buy the CD.
Yes.
For
sure.
sure.
For the interview, Chris. It's
great, the artist.
Great to support you again for another album cycle.
Yes, thank you so much, Chris.
Okay, I hope you have a nice day for you. It's early in the morning. I don't know where you are.
We're in Jersey and Arizona, so 2 different time zones.
Okay. And have a nice Christmas time.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, Chris. Merry Christmas, and
Enjoy the
hopefully,
record, the Bone Collector. Don't
yep.
get the Bone Collector, collecting your bones. Yeah, I thank you for the interview, Rich and
Yeah,
Jake,
anytime.
and can't wait to see your reviews, my friends.
Awesome.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks, Chris.
Bye.
Bye, Chris.
Yeah.
Did you stop?